I say decarbonizing the trucks, biofuel, guys, that keeps the truck in business and just needs a little update. All right, so SeaH4 is going to produce an alternative to fossil fuels based on seaweed. And that is predominantly bio-LNG and e-methanol for the maritime market. So for the two CMA CGM people here, we're doing something very similar to the Salamander plant in Den Haag, only a different feedstock. And how is it important for the rest? We are exclusively wanting to farm seaweed in ponds along desert shores in Africa. So we're really yielding, harnessing the sun. But it is for the Asia to Europe vessel transport to decarbonize that. And particularly with Singapore being the global bunker hotspot, Asia is much of import to us. The basic technology is, as mentioned, farming of seaweed in ponds as biomass, and then converting that into biogas in regular anaerobic digestion. And the returning biogas is then going to be split into methane and CO2. And the CO2 will be used to be synthesized into e-fuels alongside with the emerging green hydrogen market, which in Africa is exploding. Whereas the methane is ready to go. It just gets liquefied and pops your uncle. What the advantage is of what we're doing compared to many other biofuel solutions, we're not taking up arable land, we're not taking up food source directly, and because we're in the, we're farming in ponds, not offshore, the seaweed, we can feed the waste stream back into the ponds, short-circuiting the nutrient cycle, which has all sorts of benefits on the monetary and impact side. So that's on the tech. Then we've got a team with a good 100 years experience in total. Between two team members, myself and one member, we've got 60 plus years in the maritime business. We've got a PhD in seaweed farming. Our chemical engineer with biogas focus, she's in a program to become a future female leader in energy. Yeah, so that's our team. We're currently raising 7.5 million euros development capital, with the first drawdown thereof being a mere 100,000 euros. And that is because we've got a partnership secured to do our test farm in a working aqua farm. So we're merely raising the runway for the staff and a bit of lab work and so on. That will happen in South Africa, just north of Cape Town. And then the next stage is a pilot plant for which we've got development partners in Namibia who are themselves developing green hydrogen capacity. So here we're already talking also with the Namibian Port Authority for conversion of the local tax to use our biofuel in the port, so we can pilot the use as well as the project itself. And we're basically creating with our partners an entire research and development nexus in hydrogen, biofuel, e-fuel, and all together, and a whole lot of additional technologies to be developed later. We recently won the EDF Pulse Southern Africa Award with the finals for the whole of Africa outstanding in January. And we are a pilot project with the International Maritime Organization on the decarbonization of shipping in South Africa. And in terms of scalability, we can go just about to any low-lying desert shore around the globe, which means a little bit in Chile, but the majority is around Africa and the Middle East, obviously, a little bit in Australia. But again, we're central to the Africa, such as central to the vessel traffic between Asia and Europe. And Europe, and I hear some of the Asian countries too, having now, as of January, included the vessel traffic into the emissions trade system, including arrival and departure voyage. We don't need to bring the fuel to Europe to sell it there at the carbon neutral component, but we can actually bunker on site in Africa and the vessels can still valorize on the carbon neutrality. That's it. There is a, sorry, the pitch deck is, I posted the link here and on Slack. There is a deck, but this one I did without.